Roleplay for D&D or any RPG can be extremely scary when you first start out, and sometimes still scary even when you've been doing it for years. But I'm here to give you some tips to make it a little bit less daunting. This is Taylor's Tavern Tales, and let's get into the do's and don'ts of roleplay. So I come from an acting background, and I'm actually a professional working actor. So anytime I make up a new character for D&D or any RPG, I view it from an actor's perspective. So I'm gonna teach you some tools of the trade to help make roleplay way easier. Know your character's objective. Don't be loose with it. An objective is something that your character wants more than anything. It's something that drives the decisions any character makes. This will help you when you're in those situations when you're asking yourself, what would my character do? I don't know. Bringing it back to a main objective will help you in those situations. Say your character wants to kill the warlock that murdered their parents. So from this, we can see that your driving force, your objective, is revenge. And we'll dive deeper into that later in the video. But for now, don't be loose with your objective. Now I say this loosely as well. Once you get more comfortable with roleplay, you can be more wishy-washy with your objectives, and you can even have multiple objectives. But I recommend, for now, keeping it clear and concise. This will help when you have to think really quickly on your feet. You can always go right back to, revenge. What would get my character to their revenge? Or love, or power. You choose. And now we're going to go a little bit deeper into that. Write a backstory. Don't overthink it. So a backstory is like the filling in a sandwich. It's what gives your character depth and flavor. I'm gonna go back to our revenge example. So your character wants to kill the warlock that murdered your parents. That is a good, clear part of your backstory that you can easily draw from. But part of making an interesting character to roleplay is taking things from your backstory and figuring out how you can bring them to life. Even from this one clear sentence, we can get a lot of interesting roleplay opportunities. For an example, the person who murdered your character's parents is a magic user. So how does your character feel about magic users from now on? Do they hate all magic users? Are they scared of them? Or maybe they don't hate all magic users, but just warlocks. So this is where we can bring it into the roleplay. If your character meets an NPC that is a warlock, how would they treat them? I mean, probably not great if it's coming from hatred or fear. These are the ways you can draw from your backstory once you've written it. And here's the don't. Don't overthink it. Once again, take this with a grain of salt. But if you're really just starting out, writing a 7-page long backstory with all your character's lineage and adventures that they've gone on before meeting the other players in a tavern is going to make it more daunting for you when you're trying to figure out, how can I bring this backstory to life? How can I roleplay that my character's second cousin is a duke? If you've got a really complicated backstory, it's going to feel more difficult and scary than it is. So my advice is keep it simple at the beginning, and as the game progresses, your character can grow and develop. Which brings me to my final point. Do be open to grow. Don't be stagnant. Now this might seem a little contradictory from the first point I made, but what I mean by this is learn to grow with your character. Find opportunities to make them well-rounded, because characters are people, and people aren't stagnant. They don't stay the same. People can grow and shift depending on the experiences that they have. We're all capable of growth, and so are our characters. And I'm gonna bring it back to revenge once again. So maybe your character hates all warlocks, but one of your party members is a warlock. How would they feel after being on a couple adventures with them? Your character might start to have a different attitude towards warlocks. They might start to realize, hey, maybe not all warlocks are bad. There might be a genuine moment at a bonfire where your character could say thank you for the first time to the warlock, which would be a big moment of growth for your character, and could be a pivotal moment. It's all the way you play, and you're supposed to have fun, so try to have fun. Your character is just capable of growth, and so are you. And I have a little mini bonus tip. Try your best, because you know how the saying goes. Practice makes me shit my pants less every time I have to talk to an NPC. Dear God, why do they have to make them so attractive? Well, anyways, I think I'm gonna leave it here for now. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and turn on that post notification bell. I make videos every single day, so it really helps. And if you really want to see what not to do, Check out the playlist that's on the screen right now for the RPG Reddit horror stories. I make those every single day, as well as I make these do's and don'ts of D&D every single week, so come back for those. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow.